At the end of the season, it was amazing because all the helps that I received from Sarthi, Panelist, everyone, they helped me a lot.
They help you drive the interview. Mr. Kera is always available on WhatsApp. Like you can text him at any point of time, and he's available for a call.
When you finally match, that feeling cannot beat anything. Sarthi has been helpful throughout for all of that, especially the mock interviews. Guidance that they provide has just been amazing.
First of all, I really want to thank you guys, Sarthi, Pawan sir, you, Aditi, Sejal, for being there.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of our Match in 2026 webinar. So this is our annual webinar where our Match students, they share tips from their journey, what challenges they overcame, any hurdles. And hopefully all these tips will be useful to all of you, whether you are going into the match in the coming season or in the later season. So it's kind of sharing in their journey and how they overcame all the challenges. Like I said, today is day 2. So many of you, I hope, were able to get good insights from day 1 as well. So as we get started, couple of housekeeping items. So you can obviously ask questions in the chat. And how we'll do it is when the speakers are talking, you can put questions in the chat, and then before the next speaker comes in, maybe if the question is relevant to that panelist, they can answer it. So avoid asking questions like what was your score or something more personal. I mean, it's up to the panelists to share their journey, and we have to respect that. With that, before I move on, I did want to invite, for those of you who are in India, like I mentioned yesterday, we are doing a meet and greet felicitation of our team or math students. So if you are in India, you are more than welcome to join our students, get tips from them. So this is the code you can scan. So we'll be in 5 cities in India. I think Hyderabad, Bangalore, Delhi, Amritsar, Ahmedabad. So if you're close to those cities, we are going to be meeting our math students and their families, hopefully. Meet and greet session, free. It's all free. Any tips about anything on USMLE, feel free to register here. It's completely free. It'll happen in May. Likewise, we may do something in the US. I don't know at this point, it is TBD, but here's the scan code for you, for those of you who will be in India in the month of May. With that, let's get started. Our first speaker of the day, it is Ganga, and she's there. So again, she had a very challenging journey, with her YOG and some of the other aspects, but I don't want to, speak for her. So welcome, Ganga. Congratulations. Why don't you introduce yourselves, and then, some tips, some insights for the students who are on, and then we'll see.
Thank you, Pawan. Sure. First of all, good morning to everyone. Happy Sunday. And congratulations to everyone who got matched and who are still on the journey. Wish you all the best. You got this. Next year, you will be in this side. And I'm happy. Thank you so much. First, I have to thank Sarthi team. Without their guidance, I can't do this. They helped me a lot in my personal statement, in my CV, as well as in interview prep also. And after match also, how to email the program director, my mentor helped me. My chief mentor is Pawan, and my mentor is Dr. Somu Chatterjee. I took a platinum plan. I do have year gap. My year of graduation is 2014. I do have home country residency until 2019. Afterwards, I don't have any clinical experience. I do have year gap until 2023, mid of 2023. Once I realized, I utilized my H4 EAD status and I started my journey as some rotations as well as medical assistant job. I took it. From there, I completed my all USMLE steps in the first attempt, and I applied for the 2024 cycle in the mid of the December. That too in difficult. That time I was not a Sarthi student, so I applied in different places and everywhere, wherever I don't even know what is that means. But once I started my journey in the soap season 2024, I got only one interview within a day of Dr. Tan's strategy. Then I got a hope that I have to join Sarthi. I took a platinum plan. I discussed with Pavan about my profile. He mentioned clearly where I have to apply for this season. And from the day one, what they do give a monthly calendar. Like this month, I have to complete this task. It's like a school. They do guide me, but and they will give me the report also. This you didn't complete. This you have to complete. I took it as serious and I worked on it. Whatever I do on my medical assistant job also, I do discuss with Pavan on monthly meeting. He helped me to understand even I don't know whatever I'm doing, which is specific, which is more good for my interview seasons. I don't even have that knowledge. He explained, mention, you have to mention this in your CV, personal statement, as well as on the interview, you have to mention this on your first few minutes of the interview. They have to ask you these questions. So these all helped me a lot for my interview preparations. To get an interview, that is a different story. I don't have any medical background families or friends here because of my year gap. I don't know anyone. Only Sarthi. Through the Sarthi, I sent the letter of interest. From April itself, I started. My chief mentor, Dr. Somu, helped me to send how to frame it and send, and which conferences do I have to attend. So I got to know at the end of the mid of the September where to apply. So it helped me to save my financially also. It's a benefit for me. And I got a connection through the conferences, current residents. I spoke about my US clinical experience with a program director, program coordinators. They remembered me. Through that, I got 2 interviews in the whole interview. See, whatever I got two from the conferences. And I tried my best to complete. I didn't keep anything on the deadline. If Sati posts something, I try to complete within a week and I will send it to them. And I have to mention about the personal statement journalist who reviewed my personal statement. He helped me a lot. Just 3 days before submitting the main application, my mentor, Dr. Somu, told me the previous one is good, but I know you can do it better than that personal statement, he told me. I suggested a few lines to the personal statement review, journalist review, people who are reviewing. He helped me a lot to frame that. So they help us in every situation until the end of the season, even after the season also. So thankful for them. And in interview season, I got never one interview, no interviewer asked me about my year gap. Everyone asked me about my US clinical experience, what you are doing, what you are currently doing. Are you continuing that path? And tell me more about that. That's the main question I got to know. No one asked me about my work or anything on my home country residency, volunteering. In a public event, I have to do some volunteering booth. Yes, I do have an idea, but Pawan helped me, motivated me. Yes, go ahead, do it. This is helpful for your interview season to mention in your interview. Yeah, so overall, year gap like me, students, definitely they will guide me. It's not they are going to help everything to build, but we have to give them idea where to focus. I need this. So could you please help me if I ask them? Definitely they will do. They will give their 200 percentage they did for me. So I guess everyone will also get benefit through that. Yeah, this is my view.
Thank you, Ganga. And if
Thank
anyone has questions for Ganga, they can put in the chat. Maybe I'll read. But meanwhile, so a lot of students get confused on, what type of questions from the work experience or USCE they should prepare. So I know you were doing a lot of remote patient monitoring related stuff, right? So what was the discussion like? Because your job was very different and very, very cutting edge.
in one of the interviewer, she directly asked me the question, in our hospital, this system is not there. Tell me what is remote patient monitoring, what you will do as a resident doctor, what I can teach to my residents. That's the question she asked me. So remote patient monitoring, I was doing for diabetes as well as hypertension. From the clinic, we used to like a EKG. It will show them the continuous CGM if they have. It's a patch if they have in their hand. Patients through the Bluetooth connections, we do record their glucose status and everything. What my job is every 14 days, or else if I notice any hypoglycemic episodes, I have to call and discuss about their results and consult the doctors about the drug modulations. Then I have to guide my patients. I do also conduct monthly patients clinical meeting also, along with the collaborating with pharmaceutical companies. So that helped me a lot to speak more confidently on the interview by forgetting about my year gap and focusing more on my current whatever I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
this framework, Dr. Soom helped me, guide me, and all the panelists, whoever I got four mock interviewers, they helped me a lot how to present this.
yes. So I think to the audience, this is an important point. Whether it is your work experience, whether it is your US clinical experience, you really, really need to know everything about it, and you have to be able to connect with the interviewer, tell them how the work that you are doing could be helpful in the residency, even if, like she said, remote patient monitoring was not there. But they want to see that you are involved in your work, and you can have a discussion on that. So another question which is coming up, by the way, she matched in family medicine. So there was a question on that. There is a question I want you to take, Ganga, and maybe we'll go to others also. In general, when you go to a conference, right? How do you network? I think that is a question. What do you do at a conference?
I do go for all that. Before that, I have done my homework. Like Dr. Zoom helped me where to apply, where not to apply. By sending the letter of interest, I got to know they said yes for my application. Those programs I approached on the conferences, their program coordinators. Hey, I sent you this mail. This is me, and currently I'm doing this. Then we started the conversation. They ask, tell me about yourself. It's like a short interview for me. I'm not, they asked me, tell me about yourself, what your current status and everything. Through that only, I got one program director. He knew it nicely, and he called me for the interview. And whatever we send the letter of interest also, they will note it down. They won't reply. But on the interview, they mentioned me. Oh, thank you for all those mails for these months. That's the first question. The answer the program coordinator told me before starting the interview. So they will note it down. All we have to do is just do our job. No need to get a response from them.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just a
an important.
connection. It's a conference. It's like a connection for me to them. And on the interview, it was smooth. They know me, so I can confidently go and speak more to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ganga. Appreciate your time, and good luck in your residency, and hopefully start of a new chapter. So, our best wishes to you.
Thank you so much, Pawan. I'm grateful for Sarthi. Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Before we move on to the next speaker, which is IPEC, I am seeing some questions. I think Varna is asking how much is financially for this journey. So we do have a blog that we can share. And I think Swati from our team or Aditi will share a blog where we outline the total cost, approximate cost. Otherwise, we'll send you a link. But it depends on the USC and all of that. I would say if you are just estimating about 25 to 30,000 US dollars for the entire journey, starting with step one, all the preparatory material, USCE and all of that. So it could vary slightly, but I think that is the average, I would say. Okay, so our next speaker is IPEC, who has had very, very interesting journey, home country residency, fellowship residency applications. She did rotations, she did research. Finally, her risks and her strategy did pay off. I was not that, I was asking her to be risk averse, but she didn't listen to me. But
That's correct.
uh, I'll have you do it. So talk to us a bit about your journey. What were you doing since you graduated, and how did all this come about, and tips for others.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Ipek, and thank you for joining this webinar to share our experiences during your journey as well. So I graduated from Turkey and in 2015. And after completing my medical school, I started my residency as an internal medicine resident. After completing that, I worked in some hospitals as an internist, and then I moved to the United States in 2022, which I started from what is USMLE, how many steps is included. I was very far from this journey. And then, of course, I started investigating how I can do my process here. And I moved to the United States with green card. It was my luck. So I started working in a nephrology clinic as a medical assistant, which I learned lots of things because I learned lots of things regarding the United Care healthcare system, which is so very important to know. And then I improved my career as the previous speaker. Actually, currently I'm working as a clinical manager, but I am also doing remote patient monitoring for diabetes, hypertension, and heart failure patients. And during my journey, these experiences taught me a lot. But of course, when I met with Sarthi, I didn't know that I needed to do a research here, and of course, like in-person experiences, it was really important. I had like lots of outpatient experiences, but I didn't have any in-person experiences. Inpatient, I mean. So inpatient experiences, I rotated with one of the Sarthi's doctor here in Houston. I was lucky to find that rotation also. They helped me a lot to be able to adjust my schedule. It was last minute request actually, and they helped me a lot. Thank you for that. And of course, I did a research with Sarthi. I learned basics of research. And then, of course, the application process. So it is whole other thing. So I have never been a person who is really good at like writing, speaking, talking, all of those stuff. And my application was like at the end of the season, it was amazing because all the helps that I received from Sarthi, Panelist, everyone, they helped me a lot. My personal statements, I have been thinking always like, I am not able to write this. There's no way that I can write this. But eventually, when I look at that, it was perfect for me. And one thing that I wish I could change, I didn't take any personal mentorship. So I think this is a really important service that you need to get because like I applied 120 programs and I think I applied not the correct program for my profile. So I am a 10-year-old graduate and I apply lots of university hospital, big community hospitals, which my chance is really low than the new graduate. So I wish I could get some mentorship before this process. And of course, during the process till February, I haven't received any interview because my applications, I think, was not very well good. Even if I applied lots of programs, it was not it was not really good applications when I look at that. And in February, I received my one and only interview from internal medicine, and I matched there. So I think my most important advice would be for you guys to know yourself, to know what you want to do. And of course, this is a match. So the program needs to be a good fit for your profile also. So my program that I matched is a new program. So when I was applying, I thought, okay, I'm an experienced physician. I have a good amount of experience here in the United States and back in Turkey. I did my residency. So I think I am a good candidate for them. So they might want me to match your program. So then I go ahead and apply that program. So I matched there with one and only interview. This is something interesting with my story. As Mr. Pawan mentioned, he was telling me maybe you should go for a fellowship, because in the meantime, February came and I haven't had any interviews. And I was thinking what I'm gonna do. So let's go for fellowship. Why not? So I accepted 2 nephrology fellowships, and I didn't get their offer. And I went for match, and this this is the surprising consequences. And today I learned, of course, we met with the other our team, residence team, and I learned they went for second look also. I just got one interview, even no second look, and I matched. It's like really low possibility for me. And the mock interviews, I think those are really, really important. So in October, when I took my first mock interview with Sarthi, I was a mess. Like I said, okay, I'm not able to do that. I cannot do that. Even if I have so confident, I'm not gonna do that. I was really low, and then of course till February nothing happened. But during my also review, like the personal statement review, Dr. Shah told me that, hey, you mentioned that your father is a neurologist in your personal statement, and you want internal medicine, and one day one smart program director can come to you and ask you, hey, why are you choosing this? And the exact same question came to my interview. Like he stated, so she's gonna ask you that, and I received that question also. Thank you personally to him. He was really helpful. He helped me a lot during my mocks and personal statement review, application review, and yeah, guys, those are my journey and my recommendations for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Ipek. Again, it was your hard work. So it's all about converting that one interview into a success. And I think you're right that each profile needs to understand what their own strengths and weaknesses are, kind of programs to focus on, and all of that. So
Yeah.
excellent. This is amazing. Okay, so if there are any questions for Ipek, please put them in the chat, and as we go to the next speaker. Meanwhile, Aditi, you can put links to the gold and platinum plan, or Swati, for those of you who may want to look at how the plans work. So Ipek, if there are questions, I will let you know. But you've really boosted their morale. A lot of students are texting, so thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, don't lose your hope till the end of season. Even if it's end of season, you might find a program. Like it was me. I had lots of times that I was down. And one more important thing I forgot to tell. So there's a Telegram group for Sarthi, and there are lots of valuable panelists, and you can reach out to them anytime you want to. Even if you know all the process, you will have lots of questions in your mind during your process. Even if it's a little question, if you ask them, they answer you pretty quick. Like it's a really good service for this kind of hard process. And thank you, Pawan. Thank you for that.
Yep. No, thank you. And by the way, the Telegram group that she is referring to is a closed group, so it is only available to the Sarthi students. So sorry, because once you enroll, then because it's a very, very personalized, and we have our own set of panelists who answer the questions. So it is only available to Sarthi students. And Aditi and Swati, if you can share clickable links. I think the link you shared is not clickable. Okay, let's move on. And Jay is here as our next speaker. And Swati, by the way, has reminded me there is an open group. So we also run an open Telegram group. You can join that. We still mentor and guide in that group, but obviously not to the level of the closed group. So, but anyway, let's move on. And we have Jay Mehta again. Now, he is a relatively recent graduate, but he's done everything in terms of rotations, in terms of research with us. So he joined the triple play combo kind of plan, and a lot of tips he has for us to share with you. So welcome, Jay. The floor is yours.
Hi, thank you so much, Pawan, for having me. Before I start, firstly, like I would like to share my story with what IPEC went through. So I was actually going through the Telegram group and through her chats. And I was really surprised when she said that she dropped her fellowship, and I was pretty surprised at the point that she
I
only had
know.
one interview. So I was praying for her, but I feel really happy that she matched in that one interview. So that basically gives us an idea of how the closed Telegram group actually helps IMGs to not only know our own journey, but also what other people are going through, so that we can relate to their journey and possibly take advice from what the panelist gives us and implement in our journey as well. And in this way, I also found a small community with whom I can interact with, whom I can share my journey with. And I'm just happy that from there, I have many friends who have matched, and I still am in contact with them, and probably will meet again in the US as residents, probably in June or July. So, starting with who I am. So, I'm Jay Mehta. I'm a medical graduate from India. Actually graduated medical school in 22, and this is my second cycle of applying to residency. I did apply for the 2024 match. Uh, Funny thing, I don't know, coincidental, but I actually was one of the attendees to the annual conference in 24 when I first knew about Sarthi. And that was the day that was probably the Sunday after I knew that I didn't match in soap and this. So one thing that I found really helpful is their profile review. So I actually opted for a free profile review, and that is when I met with Sheila and Pawan, where I entered my information and they actually guided me on what is missing. So before I joined Satya, I actually had a good number of rotations, but I had only one hands-on and a couple of observerships. So they actually guided me to getting some hands-on personalized experiences that could probably get a stronger letter of recommendation compared to the observerships. I was also lacking on point of research, so Sarthi did help me with that. So not only with helping with how to do research and how to conduct research, but with what I got, I actually got really close with one of the principal investigators or the attendings that helped with it, from which I could secure rotation with him. So that was probably a +1, which I had rotations and research with the mentor. And I actually did one more research before I matched with the mentor in February. So probably it goes into the CV on the fellowship. So, but I'm really grateful for what Sarthi did. So with that, I joined Sarthi just after attending the annual conference. And from there, I did my research, I did my clinical rotations. One anecdote that I actually recall from my journey is when Dr. Shah was reviewing my CV. So he actually mentioned this point that it took me 12 minutes to read your CV because, to be honest, I love to write. I love to exaggerate my experiences, and having 750 words don't help. But I tried to make most out of it. And that is when he said that it took me 12 minutes to read the CV. You have to shorten it. You have to shorten it out to the point that within a minute, within 2 minutes, I know where you are right now. So with that, it's not only that I had those half an hour or 1 hour with Dr. Shah and then it's done. I actually had his email, so I can send him my CV as many times as possible, and he could get me whatever updates or whatever changes that are needed in my CV. So I think that helped a lot. And on top of that, the PS review, I'm really grateful to the journalist with not only with grammatical corrections, but also with intonation. So that is something that I believe was really helpful because AI bots like Grammarly or ChatGPT don't help with the intonation, don't help with the personalization that a human, like the PS needs a human touch. So that is something the journalists, as well as my a panelist, which was assigned to me for the PS review, really helped me with that, which was Dr. Shah. So with that, interview season rolled in. I was already shocked from the last year's performance. I had 0 interviews, so I didn't have much expectations. Fortunately, I received a good number of interviews, and with that, I started my mock preparations. Dr. Singh gave me some really insightful changes into my mock. So initially, I was ranked under 100, and by the second mock, they were like, "Oh, now you're ready." And I'm confident that you will match this season. So that really boosted my morale. And actually, I matched the program I first interviewed with. So I was pretty stressed in that. But still, I was able to make an impression, and I'm just happy about that match because that was my top choice.
Well, thank you, Jay, and we are glad we could help you. Any questions for Jay? Please post it. Step one in CK resources. Any tips, Jay? Because you are.
So, step one being pass and fail, please don't slack on it. That is my personal advice. Uh, Practice as hard as you would do for the three-digit score. So I believe that the standard resources like UWorld, Pathoma, Boards and Beyonds, and probably Emboss, if you need some extra questions, would be really good for step one. Step two, I believe that UWorld and there were CMS forms were really helpful for me. And something that really helped was taking the NBME. So I took like 3 NBMEs before my exams. And those were pretty close to the actual exam. And please take UWorld self-assessments 1 and 2. Because I actually had many questions from UWSA, like similar pattern questions that I actually got in step 2. So I believe there are no extra resources apart from what there is outside that you need, except for if you are lacking behind in NBME. I think Sarthi has a few tutoring lectures, with the panelists. So you can take that in terms of your test taking strategies and time management, because that is what matters on the test day rather than what the knowledge is how do you manage the time. So I believe those would be the most effective.
And I don't know, Ifek, whether you or Jay, did any one of you take step 3? There's a question on step 3 resources also.
Yes, I did
Okay, so what resources for step 3?
First, take step 3 as close to step 2 as possible, because I felt that the day 1 of the exam was very close to step 2 and I didn't, so I had to redo my step 2 again. But UWorld is a really good resource. CCS cases, please do CCS cases, at least 100 CCS cases before you take the exam. I additionally also would like to mention there's this podcast going on. I don't recall the name, but Dr. Divine Interventional Podcast. So those are really good. You can find on Spotify. So I used to listen to them when I used to go on my rotations just for a walk, and I used to have it on my background. But yeah, so go for the standard resources. That's all I have.
Yeah, and I will take some of the questions as we go through the webinar. So we will get to that. But I know our speakers are waiting. So next up is Santoshini. So welcome, Santoshini, and again a fantastic journey. So I know you wanted to talk about networking, outreach, and you have also, well, I won't say a very old biology, but why don't you share a bit about yourself and then about the challenges you overcame and how you leverage networking and outreach.
Thank you, Mr. Kera. Congratulations, everyone who matched along with me. And I hope to see all the participants next year doing the same job as we are doing now. So, yeah, so I graduated in 2019 and then COVID hit and I had to stay back in India and then work. Later, I started my step 1 preparation and then step 2. But there was a time where if there is a drawback, then I would say it is the gap between step 1 and step 2. I would strongly suggest against it. I have taken it, and I think getting back on track to prepare for the exam, that too something like a score dependent exam, like step 2 is really difficult. I've gone through that, and there have been multiple breaks, and I couldn't get back on track. So I ended up giving the exam in July 2024, and I had to apply in September 2024. And that is when I got in touch with Sagel and took the platinum plan. So I've seen people saying that they've taken way earlier and they've benefited. So I would suggest taking it somewhere around Jan, Feb, and now it is March. So it's sooner the better, because you will get in touch with the mentor, and then you'll get to talk to the mentor, have the 10 interactions, apart from the emails, 10 video call interactions with the mentor, where you get to discuss your CV personally, and they will help you focus on the weak areas and improve your application in these few months. Because I finished in July, and within 2 months I was not able to pick a pace, because I was able to see, like my friends mentioned, the closed group talking about a lot of things which I didn't know until I joined Sarthi, say about outreach, say about networking. Because in one of the calls with Mr. Khera, I was like, people are talking about networking, and he was like, that train has passed, you can't do it now. So a lot of things will, you will know a lot of things from the Sarthi group, the closed group, because you might have a lot of residents, you might have a lot of friends who are residents or who are doctors or faculty or whoever, but they will be very busy they will not be ready, or they'll not be available for you to answer those questions at the moments where you are about to hit an application submission. So the Sarthi group really helps, like even a small, even to write what to write in a preferred name, like it's your name, but still there are panelists who actually suggest you what to write as a preferred name. I have seen people asking those questions, like silliest question to the dumbest question to the most serious question. There are panelists who are patiently answering you, which is very, very important. And they are also the people who actually tell you how to how to formulate an email for outreach, for networking, and they are the ones who actually help you in even the program search. So Sarthi has a tool where Sarthi has videos and classes where Dr. Tan takes classes on how to actually look at the programs, how to search for the programs. It is not just buying some list from a random website. There are a lot of people doing that, but I have seen a lot of them ending up not getting into the residency because they have not done their own homework. Sarthi is there to help you, but there is a lot of work that you have to do, which you do not know until somebody tells you. All the panelists are attendings or residents who have been through this process, and they know where to actually put your focus on. There are a lot of things that can be easily bought, but one thing that I would suggest to invest is to at least take the smallest plan that is available. If your budget permits, I would say platinum is the ultimate. I've seen a lot of friends and my juniors, and I've told all of them to actually go ahead with the platinum plan. They've seen a video of mine recently, and they reached out to me. Do you prefer platinum plan? So I would say that is the most important thing that you could do, because I would the PS review or the journalist interaction for the PS, and also the interactions with the mentors. And Mr. Khera is always available on WhatsApp. Like you can text him at any point of time, and he's available for a call, which is really amazing. And the panelists, like I said, we can't every person on this panel today would vouch for that Sarthi Telegram group, which is really important. And then I would also talk about networking. So yes, you can rotate. I did rotations from Sarthi in Detroit and Houston, but there is something called inpatient rotation and hands-on experiences. These are really, really important. These are the times where you get to interact with the doctors, you get to interact with the residents. That is when you get to talk to them, make yourself visible to them, so that they can write personalized LORs for you. It is not easy for somebody to judge you in 30 days, but then you have to make that presence felt in those 30 days by asking questions. You can ask anything. There is nothing called silly in these during these experiences. You can talk to them. They're like friends. There is nothing called a hierarchy or whatever. They are always open to ask questions, and then you can actually interact with them, make your presence felt, and that is what is going to make a difference in the LORs. People say you have to they talk about a lot of things like persistence, determination, etc., etc. But those are the words that are used for everybody. But things who you really are does actually matter, and that itself is called networking. Because I had a rotation at Houston through Sarthi, and I remember the doctor asking me about my journey and all. And 1 year later, when I said I matched into IIM, and he was really happy, and he could actually remember what all I went through, and he was talking about that. So that is what I say as networking and making your presence felt. And obviously, that is when I realized, yes, I think this must have been on the LOR. This must have been mentioned. So rotations wise, you need to choose your rotations wisely. Understand where where you want to go, what you want to do. So Sarthi is there for you. The website has a lot of rotations that are budget friendly also. So I would suggest that. And outreach also, you can form the Sarthi group has email formulations ready, and you can just use them. And then they have classes also on how to how to do the outreach, which is most important. You just apply, you just hit a submit application, and then if you sit idle, it is not going to work. You have to work until the match day. It is not over, and it is until it is finally over. You need to send those emails. And there are a lot of people who do not know this, because there are no enough there is no enough guidance on these things. But after the application also, there is a lot that goes into it. You have to do your own job, where this is when the Sarthi people were really helping me. The mentor was there for me, Dr. Wally, I have to mention. He's always been there. We used to send emails on any small issue, like, I had a question on this, I need to talk about this, can you please guide me on this? And he would get back in no time. And the mock interviews that come with the platinum package, I would say those were the gold that I can never, I can vouch for those mock interviews. And also the classes taken by advanced IB prep classes taken by Mr. Khera and also Dr. Tan. These two classes, you would never want to miss them. And that is how these were the classes that actually helped a lot of us in our interview preparation also, because they help you drive the interview. They help you, you can expect the question that the interviewer is going to ask, because you are at ease once your mock interviews are over, and you can actually feel free. And like Jay, you can match at your first interview residency program itself.
Well, thank you, Santoshni. Very, very extensive, and I'm very happy when my own students speak my language. I always tell them you have to drive the interview. So excellent. So you did pick up some things from the classes. So I will take a question for you. I see this on the chat. Someone who has just passed step 1, and they are saying, I think it's Alicia. There are only a few months left. I've got to do CK and USCEs. Is it realistic to apply this season?
I would say it is realistic, because I was at your position last year. March, at around this time was the time I was actually I sat down, focused, and did my step 2. And there are a few things that actually nuances that for the step 2 CK preparation that you would want to concentrate on, like the CMS forms, like the Divine Intervention podcast, or the NBMEs. If you sit focused for 10 hours a day, and then you will be done in 2.5 to 3 months, and then immediately, like right now, you book those USCE. Don't wait for the day you finish your step 2 and then look for rotations, because this is the time the rotations will be full. So you need to look for rotations from now, even if you're going to be there in the US like 3 months from now. And while doing this, if you take a plan, you already, if you take a package with the Sarthi, you already have a mentor or somebody who is there, who's behind you. Even if you're, slacking, they'll be there. Come on, do the PS. Come on, give me the CV. Do this. So I would say it is doable.
Yeah. One last question before I let you go. how did you make your presence felt in the interviews? What did you make to feel that you are important to them? I think Mohammed is asking this question. So basically, how did you manage your interviews?
I think I meant it in with respect to the rotations. You need to make your presence felt during the rotation.
Okay. Yes. So some tips on rotations, I guess that's what he's asking.
Okay. Okay, so let me explain with the rotation at Detroit with Dr. Saad. I applied through Sarthi. So it is both inpatient and outpatient. So during the inpatient rotation, you will be during the outpatient rotation, you would be sitting in different rooms where you would be interacting with the doctor. With the patients, and then a nurse practitioner or Dr. Saad comes up, and then he or she expects you to present the case. So they are in a hurry because it's a busy clinic. If you do, they know a lot of cases. It's a primary care clinic, so they know a lot of things. So they don't care about you explaining or you presenting the case. But if you request them, or if you say, "Hey, I want to present the case," they would do it. They would allow it, even if it is a busy clinic. So that is how you say you actually make your presence felt. Okay, she does this job better. And then you have a teleclinic also, where once in a week you're posted there. Even during the teleclinic, you get to sit with Dr. Saad and talk to the patients. You need to present the cases to the doctors. So that is when you need to do the job in a better way. How you need to talk to the patient, then you go through their records and then explain it to him in a detailed way. And that is when he notices you. And also, be enthusiastic, be there on time, and try to there are like first room to seventh room. Try to be in those first two rooms. You have to be in those first two rooms. I mean, like, I used to have a friend who also, like, we went through Sarthi. We used to fight, like, he wants room number one, I want room number one. And that is something that you need to do. There might be people who don't care, but that helps, because that is how you get noticed. That is how they remember you, and then that is how your LOR is written.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Santoshini. Much appreciate your very extensive tips and insights, and good luck in your residency. And we'll be in touch. By the way, if you are in India, all the panelists, then I'll be meeting each one of you at various locations. So make sure to let me know. Okay. Thank you. Before we move on, so Reshma, if you can put the link to that L1 IMMI, L1 IMMIT, and L12 IMMI. So these are the rotations that I think Santoshini is referring to. So for those of you who want to take a look, and I think Sejal, people are saying March is full for the profile review. So probably all of you who need help, Sejal or Swati, give them my number as well, and then probably I can open up more in my profile review. So if you can do that, Sejal, if the March is full, maybe we'll open up more times as well as I'm going through the chats. Okay. Next up, I think is that you, Juhi? Yes, absolutely. Juhi, our own student, is next. So Juhi, let's hear from you, your journey, tips on low scores, tips on how to improve the profile, and tips on research or anything else that you want to share. But congratulations up front, and excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me, and congratulations to everybody who's matched, and good luck to everybody who's here hoping to match. It's going to be a very good ride, trust me. I have been.
Good night.
Yes, I will do it again. I've been with Sarthi since 2019. I mean, I joined the silver plan, and when I say that join Sarthi as soon as possible, do not wait for 2 months before the math cycle. That will not help. You know, that is one thing that one of my friends told me first. She was a Sarthi student, she matched, And you need to build your profile over time. It's not a one night thing, it's not a 2 months thing. It's not when the token of eras comes out. So that is my number one tip. Start building your profile now. Do not wait for the token to come out. So this is my number one tip to everybody here. Start thinking about your rotation. Start reaching out to all of your alumni, reaching out to your friends, family, whoever you have worked with back home in India as well. Like, believe me, my three of my interviews were with people who vouched for me from India. So reach out to people right now. That was my again, sorry, I did not introduce myself. This is my third cycle. I like so the last two cycles, these were the mistakes I did. So I did not reach out to people before. Do not apply and then reach out. Start reaching out now. Networking, as Santoshini said, is very important. Second, as Dr. Catherine, one of our very esteemed panelists, says, letter of interest. Do not wait for your application to go out and then send them. No, that is like start sending them out earlier. Start sending them out when your application is going to be sent in June, July. Your ERA CV should be done by July and August so that you can send them out to program directors when they are free. When the applications go in, they have 5,000 applications already. Your email is going to be lost. So that is my second advice to everybody. Secondly, scores matter. I agree. I had a low score and I realized that to overcome that barrier, I need my application to be seen. I did a profile review with our panelist, and she identified every gap in my profile. So you need to see your profile as a whole, not just rotations and research is just one chunk of it, one part of it. So see it as a whole. Just you need to see even your phone number. Your phone number should be of the US. Your address, your every small part should be taken care of. So do not take your ERA CV lightly. Start working on it earlier. And if you're a Sarthi student, definitely, a non-Sarthi as well, I would definitely suggest please do a professional profile review with Dr. Catherine whenever the slots open up. That was it that made me match this year. I went to the tea. I have this book with me. I did everything she told me to. She told me to change my profile picture. She went through my LOI, how I've written it, my all my letters of interest. I went back to the videos. I worked on all my emails. So do not think that even one small thing in your application does not matter. Pay attention to everything. Don't just pay attention to your LORs, your experiences on ERA CV. Don't just pay attention to the big things. The small things matter. Emails matter. The way you're writing them, the way you're coming out as an applicant matters a lot. The second thing, interviews. It is very important how you come across as an applicant. You need to come out not just confident, but also somebody they want to work with. So that is something that the Sarthi mock interviews really helped. And again, Doctor, all of the videos that I saw on the Sarthi channels, they really helped me. I went back throughout my cycle for every question, and that's how I built up my interview skills this year.
Yeah.
So that is and the Sarthi chat, that is like a gold mine. Like every waking hour, every morning, 30 minutes, I just saw what are the questions that everybody had, not just my questions, because I knew maybe I didn't have that question, but maybe I didn't think of that doubt. especially when the token opens, go through the channel, go through the questions people have, so that you are not missing out on something that your application, the June to September time, be very focused. Spend every minute on your application. And by August, as all the panelists say, finish your CV so that you can read it 25 times. Because I am telling you, there will still be mistakes. You can, like, ERA CV something, you have 750 words per experience. I spent 1 week per experience this time. And even when my experiences were made, like, I had already worked on it the previous cycles. So definitely, please start working on it now. Do not, like, the cycle has already started for you guys. That is my suggestion. Now, when it comes to research, if you think that your CV does require it, so research is not just for research and publications, it's definitely for visibility of your application. And secondly, it gets you to the US and it gets you somebody who vouches for you behind the scene. Your PI will be there to fight to get you in. That's what helped me a lot this year. And it will also help you get to conferences, it'll help you network, it'll help you get a team in the US. You'll have friends and colleagues out here. So start reaching out to people, because right now all of the PIs know how many people are leaving their team and they're hiring. So reach out to alumni who were already in the, who are in the US, your friends and colleagues, and try to get into a research position if you think your profile requires it again. So, yes, any questions?
One question which I have been getting is, how do you keep yourself motivated? Because it took you more than 1 or 2 cycles, so this journey is very long, can be very, very mentally very taxing. So how did you keep yourself motivated?
So it is completely, I agree, it is completely a journey of high and lows. One thing that it helped was that I had decided that I'm going to apply for 3 cycles only. I had decided, like, this is it for me. But I had also decided that I'm going to I've not given it my all yet. Had I not, like, the previous 2 cycles, there was some deficiency. Like, when I went to Dr. Catherine, she said that, you know what, you have some deficiency in your cycle. You have not yet reached your potential. So that's when I realized that if I have not yet given my 100%, then I am yet to blame. And I can still give my 100%, and that motivated me to go further. So I'm like, till I did not reach my 100%, and I cannot say that, you know what, I've given my 200%, and if I do not make it this time, I've given my 200%, and then I'm like, okay, now I can go back and say, if I don't match this time, then it's it.
Thank you very much, Juhi. Very, very insightful tips, and very glad you finally made it. So congratulations, and
Thank you so
very
much.
happy. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, before we move on, I think Swati is texting that we've opened up more slots, so you can book those slots, and you can set up profile review with me as well. So that's fine. Please do that. And I know a lot of the speakers have spoken about our the Telegram group and things like that. So if you go to our website, these details are available. I'm showing you the website. So under Residency Match 2026, you will see all that we offer in terms of each plan. So it's individual guidance, classes, personalized support for PSCV. So go through it. Program list, interview preparation, mock interviews. So I think a lot of them have spoken about the Sarthi community, which is a closed Telegram group. So take a look at that. And, if you have questions, my team obviously is there to answer. Again, we are going to be meeting all our match students who are in India. So if you want to meet them, it's a free kind of a night. We will meet them at 5 cities. Scan the code and you can come here and meet us and meet them, and also network among yourself. If the more the merrier. You can get tips from each other as well. So scan this code, and maybe Sejal, you can send a link also to the Google form for registration. It's a free event, series of events. We are starting in India. We'll probably do it in the US as well in June, but this is in May in India if you are interested. And Swati has been posting links on some of the discounts that we offer as well. So in the match week, there are discounts. So if you want to just avail of that. Many of you have asked questions on the conferences. So Swati, thank you for that. Swati has been posting that in the chat. So those of you who asked that question. Okay, let's move on and keep the questions coming. As and when the panelists are there, they can answer that question. Otherwise, I'll take it. But I know, after match, they're all very busy. It's a Sunday, and many of them are packing up and planning the next phase and all of that. So if you need to leave, Juhi, others, feel free. I know you guys are very busy after you're done. So next up is Arjit. Arjit is a recent graduate, our student, and so he'll give you a different perspective. So welcome, Arjit, and please introduce yourself, and then what tips and challenges you overcame, anything that you can share with these students.
So hello everyone. First of all, congratulations to all of people who matched, and best of luck to everyone who will be applying for the upcoming cycles. And I'm sorry if there's some background noise. It's summer in India and my fan is on, so sorry. Yeah, so I'm a recent graduate. I graduated in 2024, and I'm from Central India. I graduated in 2024 and went straight to US for my observerships. Gave my step 3 while I was doing my observerships, then came back and then applied, and thankfully I matched. So it was kind of a very hectic or short kind of timeline for me, and so many Sarthi has been so helpful for all of the things, like they did CV reviews, personal statement reviews, and I watched so many videos of interview preparation, how to present yourself, and that was very helpful, and that helped me match. So starting from my timeline, I decided to take USMLE step 1 when I was in my internship, and just randomly decided that I'll take the US pathway. Prepared for like 3 months for step 1 and gave it and passed, and that gave me a lot of confidence. Step 1 is the first step in the journey, so if you pass it, you get a lot of confidence that you can go ahead. Then I gave step 2 in March, 6-7 months gap after step 1, and immediately after giving step 2, I went to US, and I have done 3 months of observerships, and those were in university hospitals. I was also targeting to do a rotation with Dr. Adam Atut, that is offered by Sarthi, but due to my constricted timeline and visa issues, I could not do that rotation. But my best friend did that rotation, and he praised a lot, Dr. Adam Atut, and yeah, so that was my timeline. And during interview season, I did not get that much interviews, so I was a little bit stressed. But I kept putting messages on the Telegram group of USMLE Sarthi, what to do if you have less interviews, how to do interview prep, and Dr. Catherine Hatun helped a lot, gave us a lot of motivation during those times. And yes, so I proved that you can match if you do have less interviews, and everything is possible.
So the question I think someone is asking, which specialty did you match in?
So I matched in internal medicine in University of Illinois, Peoria.
they always, or there is a perception, maybe not the right one, that the journey is very easy for recent graduates. So
Yes.
but of course you have had your challenges and things like that. So what are your challenges you overcame, and talk a bit about what recent graduates face.
Yes. So, talking about me, I had an average step two score. I did not have, a 260 plus or 250 plus score. So I was kind of stressed off about that. That will I get more? Will I get enough interviews to match if I have that kind of score? So that was a big challenge for me. Second, I would say was research part. As I am a recent graduate and as international medical graduates, we do not get that kind of exposure to research in our undergrad days. So that was a big challenge for me doing research. I connected. The main part is that you have to network to get research. When you go for observerships or rotations, you have to request your co-residents or fellows who are, who you are rotating with, or attendees who do research, that if they can include you, they can teach you how to do research. So that was better. That was a bit of challenging part for me. But I overcame that through pure networking. And I would say that the biggest part that helps you match is actually networking. Like there has to be someone who will vouch for you to get you an interview, or if you get an interview, vouch for you to the program director of the program, that this is a good, decent guy, good knowledge, good communication skills, good personality, and that actually helps a lot for the program director to rank you high in the program.
Well, thank you very much, Arjit. And the one thing which I want all of you to note is how he started. This is important as you guys do virtual interviews. He said, I apologize, my fan may be making a noise. I didn't hear it. But these are the things you all need to just get yourself trained in. He preempted anything, because it's a technology driven environment. Maybe your Zoom or your audio video may be having issues during the interviews, or as you are talking with other seniors and all that. So be humble and be proactive. So you can see some of the tips that he picked up. So Arjit, yes, if you are in India, I'll meet you very soon. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. See you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Neha is asking a question: how can I make best use of a conference if I attend as virtually? So virtual conferences were a big deal during COVID. Even now, I think virtual conferences you can attend if it helps you save cost. One of our own students, Jayashwini, is going for a virtual conference through Teen Heal, which is our non-profit volunteering. I think the best way to do it is if you have an abstract or some paper to present. Virtually, if you are attending the conference, just attending may not help, right? So have a abstract or something that you can present. That, I think, would be the best way to leverage a virtual conference. And I will get to conferences later on. We will have another session on conferences. So next up is Romel. Again, Romel is a recent graduate and fantastic person. He's going to talk about networking, outreach, and how to match and all of that. So Romel, welcome. Introduce yourself, please, and tell us which specialty you matched in, and then we'll take it from there.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak over here, firstly. And so my name is Romil Manyar. I am from Mumbai. I graduated recently in 2024, and I applied. So I matched into prelim general surgery this year at St. Agnes in Baltimore. Well, so firstly, I would like to just say that the whole process, however exhausting and tiring, it is a roller coaster of emotions. And the day when you finally match, that feeling cannot beat anything. And I hope that all of you applying this year do match. With that said, the most important thing I feel like during the whole process is you have to remain constant throughout it. no matter how exhausting, how tiring it gets, you have to try your best to do everything in the way that you feel, in the way that will maximize your chances to match. Now, for example, I graduated last year, but my scores weren't that great. And applying for a general surgery, which is a very competitive field, I believe that my chances of matching also were very low, but I did end up matching. And to be honest, I did not have a lot of interviews this season, but during the whole interview season, constantly talking to the panelists and the reviewers in Sarthi and getting the guidance and knowing what I can do to improve my chances, that helped me throughout to stay calm and also do my best to prepare for the interviews that I had got. And not only that, it's just the whole how you prepare your CV, your ERAS application, how you prepare for your interviews. Sarthi has been helpful throughout for all of that, especially the mock interviews. So, as a IMG, we have never really given interviews for anything in our exams, like if I'm at school for anything before that. And this is the first time where you have to give an interview to get into a college or for a residency. So to get used to how to speak, what all to say, how to frame your sentences, Sarthi helps in all of that. And those, especially those mock interviews, they are of great help so that you can practice what you say in your interviews before you actually say them. And the guidance that they provide has just been amazing. And I recommend everyone, like all of my friends who are applying this year, are applying next year, I recommended all of them to take this course, because even not just the mock interviews, but the videos that they provide on how to answer each and every question that can be asked in those interviews have been so helpful. You can watch them and sit at home and try framing different possible answers. And because of these mock interviews, the interviews that I had received went so flawlessly that it just doesn't feel like an interview anymore. It just feels like a conversation you're having with someone. And that's what's most important. If you behave in the interview as if you're having a conversation, that makes them feel like that you are confident in yourself and that you come off more naturally like that. And they want someone who is more natural, who is comfortable around people. And that's the most important thing I feel like, because they have so many applicants to go through every year, so many people. The only thing differentiating you from others is how you are in front of them, or how you behave, or how you talk. And that's what matters when you have less number of interviews. That's what I feel like. And especially the networking part, going to conferences, doing your observerships or your rotations, that's the time when you build these connections with people. When I was at my rotations, at the residents over there, I spoke to them, I got in touch with them, tried to get involved in whatever research that they were doing. And coming back to India, continued with the research, helping them however I could. And that helped me build even more connections in different cities, different hospitals. And that helps you to basically, how others said, vouch for you during those interviews. Because they have thousands of applicants, there has to be something to differentiate you from them. And this little vouch or this nudge from your people that you have worked with helps you differentiate yourself from the others.
So, one of the biggest questions we get is, okay, prelim year, surgery, how hard it is and what did you do differently?
Yeah, so, I mean, it is extremely hard. I no doubt. I can't explain how hard it is, not knowing whether or not you'll match, having to apply again next year for a categorical position. But I can tell you, if you work hard enough, you will get there. And I didn't have a great score. I am a recent graduate. That was a plus point for me. But not having great scores, not having a lot of research, and not having a lot of interviews, I still managed to get in because of the practice that you have for your interviews. You have to start preparing at the beginning of the season. You can't prepare a week or 2 days before your interview. That way, you will never be able to go have a good interview. Hence, all the preparation for the interview matters a lot during the whole interview season. You never know when you might get an interview or not. So it's better to start preparing in advance with the help of these seminars and be ready for the interviews that you get.
Question I'll take for you. Do we also have to work, and maybe other panelists, Santoshni, maybe you can also answer this. Do we also have to work on American lifestyle, like baseball teams, in addition to our medical knowledge for interviews and networking? Maybe all of you have had different experiences. So we'll start with you, Romil, and then go to Santoshini, and then go to Jay.
Yeah, well, you don't need to really know most of it, but like I will share one experience during my interview. One of the residents, he asked me, what is my go-to playlist in the OT? And I was like, Taylor Swift. So like these kind of questions that they ask you to kind of know how you are as a person, because there's only so much you can know during a virtual interview, but it's good to have knowledge of everything here and there.
Okay, Santoshini, what was your experience?
There was one such moment where, in one of my inpatient rotations, it's all friendly. The nurses and the doctors and the residents, they are all, chit-chatting. And there was this question where, what is that one cartoon character that you would relate to? Well, I was like, okay, that's a very long time back, and I could say something, but yeah, it does make a difference. But you can also say, you can be honest, like, I'm not a cartoon person. That they're not going to judge you, because until you're talking to them and making a conversation and being happy about it, they're not judging you. You don't have to fear for what you are. They do know that you come from another culture. They are very much interested in knowing about you and knowing your culture also. So there's no judgmental behavior. You're good either ways.
Yeah. Jay, what was your experience of the American lifestyle, those questions in the interviews?
So I actually have two really good stories about it. So this was near Super Bowl, and one of the programs that I interviewed with was in Philly. So they had a big question about, oh, which team are you supporting? Are you Chiefs or Eagles? And so I was like, I fortunately watched the matches like going to the Super Bowl. So I was like, I think Philly has a good chance because they have a good quarterback, or at least I believe, like, I familiarize myself with some important terms like linebackers, quarterbacks, receivers. In that way, I think it was really easy for me to communicate with both the program coordinators and the program directors. And the second thing is that in my real life as well, I love to run. I run a lot of marathons. I do a lot of cyclothons. So in the interview, in fact, the program that I matched in, the PD is an avid runner himself. So I actually displayed some of my medals in the background, and he just questioned, like, what are these medals for? And he was like, oh, I love to run. These are my marathon medals. And that is what, like, my interview in the program I matched was all about marathons. So I believe it's a good, I think, a preclude into knowing the American culture. It's not that you have to know every single thing, but at least some certain common terms regarding football, or I mean, the American football and baseball is actually a good idea, so that at least you can communicate with them. Otherwise, I believe the best communication trick is how's the weather. That probably is the question I get the most.
Yeah. So I will answer this question also. I have another perspective, but I need to move on. So Aditi, thank you for reminding me. When I start talking, I can go on and on, as my students know, in the interview prep. But anyway, I will answer this question. This is an important one also. Okay. So next up is Praveena. So Praveena, welcome. Very glad to have you. And Praveena will give you the perspective of an older YOG. And Praveena, glad you're here. Congratulations on your match. And let's get your thoughtful insights and some of the other tips.
I am Praveena. I'm from Southern India and I graduated in 2018. Being an older graduate, I had fair share of like things I had to deal with. So my advice would be, even if you're an older graduate, there's always a possibility. You should have a positive perspective when you enter the match. That makes a lot of difference in how you perceive things. And I didn't have like great step two scores. It was above average for the subject I applied to. Like, I majored in pediatrics. But I believe like I had a more comprehensive application. It's important to, it's also important to give like focus on research. Luckily, I had an distinction award at one of the conferences I presented in for research, and I believe that helped a lot in my application because that was the common question I was asked in every interview. And I also focused more on volunteer activities as well as extracurriculars to make it interesting. So I believe like having research as well as good volunteer activities will complement your older YOG or lower scores to make it more comprehensive. Uh, I was asked in every interview about the my volunteer work. I have volunteered here in US at an hospice, so it was quite interesting, and everyone wanted to know that. And in as I was applying for pediatrics, I also worked as a behavioral therapist and occupational therapist as a volunteer, which was related to pediatrics. So I that conveyed my strong interest in pediatrics. And I was also asked about autism and ADHD. Why did I take up those volunteer works? So I believe like more than my scores and YOG, this research as well as volunteer work like outperformed my application.
Yeah. So, volunteering and community give back is very, very important in all specialties, and especially more so in FM and pediatrics, right? So, I think students want to know what type of rotations did you do? What was the experience like? What did you learn and all that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I had a combination of all three types of like USC. I had a university rotation from Cleveland, and I had externship in inpatient hospital as well as outpatient. I covered all different kinds of USC, a mix of observership as well as externship. And during my externship as well as outpatient rotations, I had full access to EMR. That was also something which I used for my advantage during interviews.
Okay. And for those of you who are looking for rotations, Reshma posted a link. Maybe Reshma, you can post again to look for our rotations. There's a link. There is a question, and please ask all questions to everyone, not to hosts and panelists, but I will take it. Can we take rotations all year round or only in particular time of the year? You can do it, all year round. I think October to December, the number of students are less, so you may get more patients, better experience. But of course, you can do rotations all year round. Okay.
Yeah, on that note, I wanted to add like most of the university rotation applications open during like October to December, and again from April to June. It's a good time to like plan ahead if you want university rotations.
Yep. And I think Swati had posted, or Sejal, one of my team had posted a link to a timeline. So if you are still a student or just starting, to take a look at that timeline and talk to us. We can help you as well. But thank you very much, Praveena. Appreciate your time as always, and congratulations on a fantastic match.
Thank you so much, Paul. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right, next up is IC, one of our favorite students. Had a long journey, but paid off eventually in a top pediatrics program in the country. So IC, welcome, and share your journey, share your tips, and keep always. You're always smiling, so.
Thank you so much, Pawan. Before I start, I want to start with thanking you. So thank you so much, Pawan, your team, and my mentor, Travis. You guys are amazing. I'm so happy that I joined Sarthi. I was a member of, I had a membership with Platinum, and I also arranged some of my rotations through Sarthi. And you guys are amazing. I'm so happy and satisfied with the services. I can suggest everybody in here to join Sarthi. Any membership would be great. They're a great team, and Pawan is amazing. The mentors are amazing. The mock interviews that I had with Sarthi team was great.
it helped me tons with my interview practice. And also the questions they provided you is very similar the real one. So they don't just give you 10, 20 questions, they give you 100. How many questions did we study together,
I
Pawan?
think 85 to 90, I think.
Yeah, it was huge. I even couldn't go through all of them, but the lessons were and the questions was amazing, and it helped me a lot. And what else? I arranged some of my rotations with Sarthi, and I can suggest to do that for you. Like if you want to do clinical hands-on rotations, Sarthi can help you. I did that, and I got I really happy with the results. It was an amazing experience, and it boosted my CV a lot. Today, I actually wanted to talk about the program outreach. When I received my step 2 score, it was much lower than I expected. And I immediately had meeting with Mr. Pawan and Travis, my mentor. They both suggest me to do program outreach. Before I joined the Sarthi, I never heard about program outreach. Nobody talks about it. So I go through the Matchflix. It's educational tool that you can have once you enroll the packages. So I go through the Matchflix and I watch the videos about program outreach, and it actually really helped me to receive interviews. So I was a really great CV, but my step 2 score was very low. So I was I was very anxious that I'm not gonna get reviewed. So I believe program outreach helps you to programs review your application in the early of the season. So it's boosts your chance to get reviewed earlier and get increase your chance to get interview. So thank you so much for your suggestions. And also I can suggest people to join open houses. I'm talking only about pediatrics because all my experience and journey is dedicated to pediatrics. The open houses, in my experiences, it works. I joined the open houses of the programs that I really interested in, and I followed up with the email. And after I submit my application, I followed up that email, and I received interview from 2 of the programs. And so it helps you to get more interviews. I can give you that tip. And last thing that I can say about the connections, you have to build your own connections. You can reach out to people from your country in any program, and don't be hesitate to reach out to people. They mostly very friendly. They understand. They had gone through the process that you are doing right now, so they're always very helpful. And the other thing that I can suggest you to, if you're able to go to like a American Academy of Pediatrics, I joined their meetings twice, and it helped me a lot to do connections. I had a membership as student. The physician prices was very expensive. So if you can enroll the student membership, it really helps you to boost your application. So you can put on your CV because they're asking you if you're a member of any professional association, so you can put there. And also you can go to conferences, meet with people. There is a IMG sections in pediatrics meetings, so you can actually go there and meet with IMG pediatric program directors. So these are all my tips for today. Thank you, Pawan.
Absolutely. So just so that everyone knows, you did do some research in the US. I mean, in terms of your timeline, right? So give them an overview of some timeline also. You did do some research, right?
Yeah. After med school, I moved to United States. First, I studied child development in community college. Then I studied master's degree in clinical research, and I stayed in that lab and I kept doing research. But
back in Turkey, when I was a medical student, I was still doing research. So I didn't start immediately when I moved to United States. So I had already interest in research, and I was dedicated to pediatrics. So when they go through my application, they see a bunch of research, but they all in pediatrics. So it actually really helped me, because in pediatrics, what I sense is they don't mind your if you have a high score, but they really want to see that if you are really interested in pediatrics, if you are not using the pediatrics as a backup, they really want to see your genuine interest. So if you are still in med school or like after med school, I suggest you to do some research in pediatrics if you can, because it really helped me to get interviews from academic medical center programs.
Yep. Yep. And I think you raise a very important point. Focus on a specialty is very, very important. That's one. So if you can focus on one specialty, it'll definitely pay rich dividends. And the second is many students think research is not really essential in FM or pediatrics. I think that's not the case. Research can be useful in any specialty.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, thank you. I know you got to rush, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for everything, Pawan.
Yes, absolutely. And good luck, and I'll see you in Pittsburgh when you're here. Okay? Thank you. All right, next up, I think, is Mehak. We've had some change in the schedule from no, it's not Mehak. So I think, was it Anchal? Yes. Sorry. I know there was Aditi was texting me. So Anchal, welcome. And Mehak, I think you are after her. So welcome, Anchal. And floor is all yours. And please talk about your experiences and, share some tips.
Thank you so much, Pawan, for inviting me today. First of all, I want to thank my parents, my husband, and the whole Sarthi team. Without their support, all this support, it would not have been possible for me. I remember the day when I shifted to USA in 2022, and I had a word with you. I spoke to Shaila, and then I spoke with you. So for me, being an old graduate, I didn't want to delay things. So I wanted to do everything to build my CV at the same time. So I would suggest to everyone, you should start early. Guidance is something which is very important and crucial in this USMLE journey, I would say. So because of my contacting you earlier in my journey, I was able to start with research, with volunteer, with tele-rotations. I started working as an MA also. So everything I started at the same time because I wanted to be fast and I want to complete everything for the CV. So yeah, so first thing is the proper guidance and to start early. Secondly, I would say never lose hope. Like you are almost there and you need a proper guidance, which Sarthi, I would say that they are always with you. I got most of the help from the mock interviews with Sarthi, from the tele-rotation, because I was working, I was doing research, volunteer, and I had a lot to do. I was taking care of my family with the two kids. So for rotations, I took the help of Sarthi for tele-rotations. So tele-rotations means along with other rotation, it was really helpful for me because I had time strains. I had to do the rotations also before going to work and after coming from work. So that thing helped me. And then I took mock interviews. Dr. Mudassar Mahmood, I remember. It gave me really, it boosted my confidence when I had the mock interview with him. He told me each and every, like whatever questions I answered, he gave me feedback on whatever I answered, and actually he gave me some tips, which I really used it during my interviews, and I'm really thankful to him for that. And of course the Telegram group. So Telegram group, I would say it's really the backbone. I mean, whenever I used to have some query or anything small or big, if I have to, even for moral support, as other panelists have said, that like we come to know the journey of others, what they are facing through, what are their doubts. Through that, we can learn and we can grow. So yeah, so that was really helpful for me. So yeah, for me, being an old YOG and low score, fetching an interview itself was very difficult. And I attended almost all the classes of Sarthi. I took Silver Plus plan last year, and I literally went through each and every interview preparation classes. And from that, I got an insight like how to approach. I was like, I'm not getting an interview. So what I have to do, I was like, so that is the guidance which I got from Sarthi. Like when we have to do LOI, like after how many specific days, Sarthi is guiding, like panelists are telling us that after this many days you have to send LOI, this way you have to send this thing. And at the last, a very important thing I want to say that we should not take interview lightly. I feel really sad when I see people are having like so many interviews and not getting matched. So this is something very crucial, I would say. Like interview preparation should not never be taken lightly. We all are experienced. I mean, we all have those qualities. We all are hardworking, but through interview preparation, we come to know. I took mock interviews from Sarthi last year and this year also. So what I learned from those, that what are the words we have to deliver, how we have to present ourselves during interviews, uh, how we have to answer a particular question in a particular time frame. That is really important. I mean, we know everything, we have done everything, but how to present it in a way that the interviewers they get their answers and in a positive way from us. That is really important. So there are about 100 plus questions which I prepared last year. Aditi forwarded me that PDF. So I literally went through all those questions last year, like 100 plus interview preparation questions. So even I had a book in which I wrote the few important points, but I mean, if you don't have time to write them, at least I think it's very important to go through each of the questions, because at that time when we are actually facing the interview, if we have gone to a particular question, we have some framework like, okay, we have already thought about it, so it becomes easier. So yeah, so that is all about for today.
No, this is fantastic. So I think the question someone asked you is, are you working as an MA or did you get certification? So what about your work experience? What are you doing currently is the question.
So I have been working as a medical assistant. When I joined, I was in Washington. It's in the West Coast. So there are few states which don't ask for a particular certification, and there are few, I would say, uh, the branches like ophthalmic medical assistant you can opt for, behavioral assistant, which really don't need a certificate. And at some places, even MA in primary care, they don't require a certificate. So that kind of jobs you can look for and opt for it, besides the rotations and observerships. Even assistant physician under limited transition license in few states like Arizona, Ohio, Missouri. So that is also one of the very good option for USC, and it really helps to get into the system.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Chal. This is very helpful, and thank you and congratulations again for your wonderful match.
Yeah, thank you, Pawan. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I think next is Mehak Sachdeva. So welcome, Mehak, and congratulations on the match. And you can talk about your background, and then of course give us some tips whether to apply to multiple specialties or anything else you want to talk about.
First of all, I really want to thank you guys, Sarthi, Pawan sir, you, Aditi, Sejal, for being there. I gave my step to, I think in August, and I got certified in September. So it was it was crunch of time. But so I feel like guidance is something that's very important in this process. And for me, I used to think, okay, step one, step two is about USMLE, but once you're done with it, you realize that it's much more to the story. And I had very less time to do all of that. And you guys really helped me. So thank you so much. And to all the match applicants out there, I just want to say to them one thing, like, you guys need to manifest that email coming up that came to me, written congratulations, you have matched. And if you manifest that, I think the universe will do its magic and you're going to be there where you want to. I feel like USMLE is kind of a war where you have to fight battles every day. Step one, step two, interviewing, going for your rotations, and every bit has its own value. And I was a perfectionist and I used to believe, okay, I will get step two scores, step one scores, and that is it. But no, I realized that everything has its own importance. For me, I would say like clinical experience carries a lot of value, especially good LORs. I did my clinical experience from university hospitals and from bigger places. I was also working in community hospitals at the same time, and I did get these questions in my interviews. And people were so happy that I have so much of diverse clinical experience. So, clinical experience, your LORs, they do matter. So, get as much hands on as you can because it's going to make a lot of difference. And then it's a package. So you need to have good research. If you can, just go whatever it is, maybe a case report, anything. You just have to be there. And for volunteer also, I would say the same thing. These tiny things you might not feel at that moment, but once you sit in the interview and they actually ask you about it, it makes such a big difference. The program I matched in, we were talking all about a volunteer experience. And I was the one who was thinking, like, it doesn't even matter. So, tiny bits and parts, whatever you do, it does matter. And they see you as a whole candidate. So I would say, like, don't stick to one thing. Don't think, okay, I don't have this. I have a YOG, which is like 10 years. So don't think that, because you just have to turn that into your strength. And that's the most important thing. Because when they review your application, they're going to see, okay, YOG, they're going to see step one, step two, research, volunteer experience, everything is going to be there. So if you do great in one, I mean, you can talk about that in the interview and you've cracked it. And at the end, I would say interview is such an important thing. And Sarthi, the questions Sarthi provided me for the interview, yeah, as everybody was talking about, 100 questions. So I did not had any question out of that. And everybody knows what to answer. It's not like something, everybody's hardworking, everybody knows, but it's the way how you portray yourself because they're going to judge you. You actually have to create that trust in the interviewer, because if you are hiring someone, what do you want? You want that person to be honest. You want that trust building. So if you gain their trust in those 20 minutes, I think they're going to keep you. So have good interview skills, be very, very confident. And it's a war. There are going to be battles. So just don't be afraid of it. You might not win one battle, but trust me, at the end of the day, even if you're standing there, you're going to match. And for multiple specialties, I would say I applied to 2 specialties. So if you like, I wanted to do medicine. And I don't have any super specialty in my mind right now. So I was okay doing family medicine and internal medicine as well. So if you're applying there, I had like 8 months of clinical experience. So if you want to apply to multiple specialties, then have those a letter of recommendations, because that makes a lot of difference. That makes them realize that you were actually interested in the specialty. Also, to people, I would say, like, internal medicine and family medicine actually collide in some or the other way. So it's easier to apply to multiple specialties because your research is pretty much the same. And even for your clinical experience, you can ask your internal medicine doctors to write you family medicine because you work in primary care under them, especially in outpatient. So it's pretty easy. And if for you, medicine is the choice and you do not have a super specialty in mind, then I would definitely recommend people do will apply as I did. I asked you, sir, if you remember. I still remember I was there and I asked you. And you told me, yeah, go ahead. So yeah.
So, related question, I think Jose is asking, how did you organize rotations in both specialties? So, how did you balance those rotations? I think that's a very important question.
Yeah, and it's a very good question. So for me, if internal medicine and family, I don't know about other specialties, internal and family. So family medicine and internal medicine, primary care is outpatient that you do, and inpatient is being in hospitalist. So I had experience in primary care. So primary care, family medicine doctor can also, work as a primary care physician, and they can also work as hospitalists. So I took letter of recommendations when I was working in primary care outpatient, and that is how I mean, you divide. So when you're on one rotation for 3 months, for 3 weeks I was doing inpatient, and for a week I was doing outpatient. But outpatient was a family medicine doctor, so I asked him to write me a family medicine LOR, and to my inpatient doctor I had a internal medicine LOR written. So at the same 1 month rotation, I got two LORs. So like that, I could apply. So I would say like balance out. And it's very easy to apply in family medicine and internal medicine. And also in two internal medicine doctors who are working as primary care, you can just request them, and they're more than happy to give you a family medicine letter of recommendation.
Well, thank you very much, Mehak. Much appreciate your time and your tips, and congratulations on a wonderful match.
Thank you so much. And to everybody, be persistent, just work hard, reach out to people. If there's anything I can help, you can reach out to me as well. And Sarthi, definitely. It helped me a lot. So I would really appreciate and recommend it to everybody. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Before we move on, Swati, if you can post links to our YouTube channel. I think people are texting me, will this be available on YouTube? So YouTube, Instagram, and the open Telegram group. I'm getting repeat messages. So if you can post those three so that it can help the other applicants. So as you are doing this, I want to welcome Mehak Preet, our wonderful student who's next up. And Mehak, welcome, and wonderful match. Congratulations. So the floor is yours. Please share your tips, experiences, and anything that can help the next year's students.
Hello, Pavan sir, and hello, everyone. Thank you so much for such a warm welcome and for this chance to share my little bit of humble tips for everyone. So, I'm a person who dedicatedly apply to one specialty. With due respect to all of those who apply to double or triple, I applied to dedicated only one, and that paid me like uh, tremendously. So the specialty that I applied to rewarded me heavily with like double-digit interviews with everyone in the interviews praising me for the dedication. So I would really advocate for that. And the second thing that I have a very strong tip for everyone who is out there, maybe unmatched, maybe the second cycle or in. I know this kind of phase is very tricky and very can be demotivating for some because I was in the same shoes in the last year because this was my second cycle. So I would really recommend everyone to first of all make a list of their programs of any specialty they are applying to, and that list should be made on the preference of visa, preference of IMG friendliness, and once you are done with that list, just go out to reach out to the faculty because a lot of program coordinators, a lot of other staff would be extremely busy right now with the onboarding of the new residents and coming PGY1. So it's better, and my advice is to reach out to the faculty. And some programs have listed out their email IDs, but some programs do not. So whatever options we have, we should make the best out of them. And that really, because I'm a person who came from no connections, like absolutely zero connections in the last cycle and zero interviews to like 11 interviews I would share, and that was due to the connections that I made while being out there in the field. Without those connections, I emailed the faculties, personalizing my emails to each one out of there, and so that they know that this person is actually interested in them, in their works. You can even mention in the email that this was the piece of work that you came across, and that really inspired you towards your journey. And that's how those emails got me the rotation. And because the rotations in the big institutes, apart from enhancing your CV, that also fetches you and earns you a good LOR. And my attending physician used to say that each LOR has a very decent and a very hidden message in it, which is basically reading between the lines. So I would recommend reaching out to a lot of attending physicians, and especially those that are connected with the programs itself, and that is really incremental towards your CV, especially if you are in my position, which was in the last year. And the second thing that I would also really advocate strongly is confidence, because this first of all, I would like to say that this confidence that I got is due to a large part due to the Sarthi interview experience that I had, because those questions, those guidance from Pawan sir and a lot of other esteemed members of the Sarthi group really helped me in gathering what is the expectation of the programs and what is the expectations of interviewers during this process. And that confidence really helped me in highlighting one of my few weaker points in the application, because I unfortunately had the closure of my med school. One of my med schools closed, and I was ultimately shifted to a new med school, and that could have been a red flag to different faculty members, different interviewers. But the way in which I was able to explain that kind of flag, any color that you want to say, I don't consider it as a red flag, but that I was able to explain it, and that was due to the confidence, because does not matter much of what do you say. It basically matters how do you say it. So those are the few quick and non-boring points that I would like to share, and I really thank everyone, and I'm so happy. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mehak. Appreciate. Let me see if there are any questions for Mehak Preet. Let us know in the chat. Let me see. Yeah. So thank you and congratulations again. If you are in India, I'll probably see you in May. Okay.
Absolutely.
So thank you. And the next speaker is Saad Khan. So Saad, are you there? Yeah, so he has had an interesting journey, which many of you keep asking us about, but without taking away his thunder. Saad, why don't you talk about your journey, what you did, and all of that?
Sure, Pawan sir. Firstly, thank you so much for inviting me here. It's been quite a journey, and just wanted to share a little bit of my background. So I'm an IMG from India, and well, the most interesting thing about me, as Pawan sir knows, is we matched as a couple, me and my wife, in the same year. We also did a prelim or a transitional year before matching into a categorical year here in Michigan. And just a little thing about Sarthi, we took the mock interviews, the mentorship, and the PS writing services. Most of my rotations were done through Sarthi, and I've been in constant connect with Pawan sir here for all my guidance and how I could, get to my dream residency. And yeah, pretty much that's it. Just a little bit about my background. And anything specific you want me to share, Pawan
Yeah,
sir?
I will ask, before I ask you, I should tell everyone, they are a wonderful hosts. I met them last year in Hyderabad, and the sweet dish that they they got, I still remember. So
Yes.
both he and his wife, wonderful hosts. Okay. So But yeah, so Saad, let's talk about this transitional year, categorical year. A lot of students have questions about this. So IMGs can get transitional year, right? You and your
Yes,
wife did get.
yes, we did. We did apply to that, and we got into that. It was not our first choice, but categorical positions were our first choice. But since we didn't match in those categorical positions, we matched into transitional position. So it's a tricky spot to be in since there's a problem with funding and a few people don't take you in again into PGY1 and you need to find the PGY2 spots, which is much more difficult for us as since we are a couple. I mean, you could find one spot but you can't find two spots at the same place. It's much more difficult task. And yeah, so we applied again this cycle, matched again as a couple in the same program. And yeah, everything worked out for us this time.
So what do programs typically want to know? You're already in the system. How do you prepare for the interview and what do programs want to know?
Like for the specialty, like I applied for internal medicine.
Yes, yes. And
So
in the interviews, I'm assuming some of the questions are different than someone who's not in the system. So what are they asking about your experience in PG1?
So the most important thing is how do you perform on your floors? I mean, what does your attending say about you? So the program which I was currently in, which is transitionally, I took some letters of recommendation from the faculty over there. So they were, I mean, really good enough great enough for us to write a good letter of recommendation because we worked really hard over there, and I mean, the programs around that program knew the faculty and they were trustworthy, and that was, I think, one of the biggest, I mean, what can I say, a push for our applications into their program. And most of the questions are similar to what you're being asked. What was the list given by the Sarthi? But one thing was like, are you comfortable repeating a PGY 1 year? How would you feel about that? And the other thing would be, what did you learn in your PGY1? And I mean, in general, like how do you perform on floors? How do you do on clinics? How do you do on, different regular tasks? What were your colleagues, the co-interns, tell about you, and how would they describe you? And yeah, pretty much similar to that.
Well, thank you very much, Saad. Much appreciated. And if there are any questions for him, let us know in the chat. But again, wonderful and exciting journey. Hopefully, this is the end of one chapter and beginning of another beautiful chapter. And very impressed that both of you managed to find a spot in the same program. I think that was your biggest challenge.
Yes, Pawan sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarthi. Thank you, Pawan sir, for everything.
One sec. I think there is a question. Is it sure that we'll match into another categorical position next year?
No,
I don't know what
no.
is sure, but this is a question.
No, unfortunately, I know people who had a prelim or a transitional spot not matching this cycle. So it's a double-edged sword. It's how you play your cards. I mean, if you're really hardworking, you're persistent, you're showing, I mean, good work ethics. There's a good chance that they will take you in the same program or a different program. But as I said, it's a double-edged sword. If you're not up to the mark, they might not take you. So be very careful how you do things in your prelim year or your transitional year.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. I'll let you go back to your work. I know both of you are working, so thank you for taking time out, and I'll see you when I'm next in Michigan.
Sure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. All right. Our next speaker is Bandi. So Bandi, welcome. A recent graduate who successfully matched. So welcome. Why don't we hear the perspective of a recent graduate, how hard it is, because people keep telling us, recent graduate get all the easy stuff done. So talk about your challenges.
Thank you so much, Pawan sir, and all the Sarthi team for having me here today and also supporting me through this process. Yes, many people say that for a recent graduate, it is very easy to match. But honestly, the road is as tough as for a older graduate because despite being a recent graduate and having above average scores, having good USC and getting some good LORs, having a well balanced CV with research and volunteer activities, I secured only 5 interviews, which was really unexpected for me because I was definitely expecting much more compared to what I have in my profile. But I did make sure that, even though it's just 5 interviews, I just need to match at one program. So I have decided to give my best in each and every of those interviews. So a few interviewing tips I could give to, the upcoming match applicants would be number one, just be confident in whatever you're saying to your interviewers. Try to convey your point in such a way that they understand. Sometimes it always, I think it happens that, sometimes we know what we want to convey, but we fail to convey it. So it's always important to convey to your interviewer what exactly you want to say, how committed you are to your specialty. And apart from that, I would also say one other thing is most of the interviewing candidates, I think more or less they have similar interviewing skills. But one thing which definitely sets you apart is asking the right questions to your interviewers. So taking myself into consideration, I am someone who really loves doing a lot of volunteer activities. So I made sure while talking to my interviewers, when I got the opportunity to ask them for a few questions, I made sure I brought up this and asked them how does the program support this and how does the program ensure health equity. And a couple of my interviewers actually appreciated me for asking this question. So I believe asking the right questions definitely sets you apart from the remaining candidates. And I think pretty much that is it. I would say because in securing an interview is very difficult, and even if you get one interview, try to give your best, and you'll eventually match. And also build contacts. I think having the contacts is like really important for every cycle. I did not have any contacts, which I believe is one of the reasons for having only 5 interviews. So pretty much that's it.
So, as a recent graduate, the other question we get is give them some idea of the timeline. How did you plan for your exams, rotations, research, some idea of the timeline?
Yes, I would be happy to do that. So I actually started my med school in 2017 and started my internship in 2022 March. So by 2023 March, I am supposed to finish my internship. So that's when I took a break of 1 month. And so that I wanted to extend my internship so that I could do my electives and also give my step one. I gave my OET exam in February 2023, gave my step one in June 2023. And later on, I went to the US to do my 4 months of clinical rotations. Came back I think by the end of December 2024. And I graduated in March 2024. And later on in May 2024, I gave my step two. And throughout this process, I've been, I started early in my internship itself to start working on case reports. I also did case presentations at a few national conferences. And then I started working on narrative reviews, systematic reviews. Like I used every opportunity which I found to make the best out of it and to create a well-balanced profile. And then I applied in September 2024.
I'll take one question. I think that is for you. This coming up. Is it okay to, and I don't know the more detail, but is it okay to ask personal questions to program director during the interview? What do you think?
Okay, so yes, I think, personal in the sense it should be in a professional way. So I did have one of my interviewer who was involved with, a lot of asylum survivors and torture survivors, working with them. So I did ask her about, why did she want to, work for them and, help them out, and, what motivated her in that way. So in a professional way, it is right. Do not, go ahead and ask them about their family or, about the more personal lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Bandi. Appreciate your time and congratulations for a wonderful match. And I'll see you soon if you're in India.
Yes, sure.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So that was all for our speakers over the 2 days. I will open up for questions, anything that we may have missed. If you have questions, feel free to put in chat. I will have some time. And again, if you are looking for something around USMLE, anything, I guess, here's our website, around Residency Match. You can look up all the plans, platinum, gold, bronze, bridge to residency. Many of you who may be interested in fellowship, we got a fellowship one, clinical rotations. If you want to know more about rotations, research, anything and everything that we discussed over the past 2 days. Match results, an important part. So take a look at that. We have not updated it for the 25 match yet, but as you can see, you will see a lot of old graduates, recent graduates, attempts and all that. So go through their journeys and we will update it for 2025 as well. Some of the blogs you can read under student resources. Some of our other programs, contact us. There's an important page if you want to reach out to me or anyone of our team. I think that's something you should do. And again, for those of you who are in India, we will see you in May at different locations. So, scan this code, fill up the form, completely free on all aspects of USMLE, whether it's step 1, CK, I'll have my students and we can answer your questions. With that, I'm opening up to questions if you have any. You can, okay, so if employers offer work permit for MA positions, yeah, so it's hard one. If there are employers who offer work permit, and remember the MA positions tend to be not visa exempt. So, for example, if you get a H1 in a community hospital, most of the H1s don't fall under the cap, but the MA positions sometimes can fall under the cap. So, if it's a visa issue, you'll have to check with the employer. Okay, what do we have to attend open houses in person? So open houses, ever since COVID happened and programs also figured out, was much more efficient online. They do it online. But yes, if you have in your city an open house in person, absolutely you should go for it. Okay, absolutely. What else did I miss? How would you structure rotations if you have 4 months and targeting FM and IM primary care? So as I think Swati has mentioned, also we have several rotations that can give you 2 LORs in a month. So I would target those rotations so that at least you can get in 4 months you can get 5 to 6 LORs, and then you divide it between the two specialties. I think some of the other speakers also had spoken about multiple specialties, and for pursuing GI is IM mandatory. So GI or gastroenterology is a subspecialty of IM. It's a fellowship, and yes, IM residency is required for 99% of the cases if you are looking for GI fellowship. Okay, what else did I miss? Does attending open house impact in matching in any way? Programs say it doesn't matter. So there are a lot of things programs say it doesn't matter. Second visits, they say it doesn't matter. Open house. So the point is, how can you demonstrate your interest to the program? In the end, if you can demonstrate your interest to the program, it does matter. But just showing up there, they are not asking questions, not being interested, not having researched the program, then it doesn't matter. But if you go up there and show your interest, it absolutely can help. Okay, and yes, for those of students who may be new, you absolutely need 3 LORs, hopefully more recent, to match. 3 is the minimum per specialty. If you have time, we recommend 4. You can apply up to 4 LORs to a program. Commonly asked interview questions, they are on our website. They are everywhere. Maybe Swati can send you the link. It's too early for the interview preparation. We take it step by step, but it is under the blog section of the website that I showed you. What should be the first priority when entering the US on B1, B2, Step 3 or USCE? Jitender is asking this question. So let me tell you this. Matching without USCE is very hard. People will still match, and they have matched without Step 3. So the first priority is to get your USCE. Should we change our photo for the next cycle? If the photo is professional enough, good enough, you can use it. Otherwise, of course, having a professional photo redone is not that expensive. Maybe you can change it. How many SLOEs are needed for emergency medicine? For those of you who do not know, SLOE is standardized letter of evaluation, mostly used in emergency medicine, maybe also in OB/GYN. So, at least our students who matched had at least 1. I would recommend 2. I'm going to a rotation with Sarthi in June. I'll be going by land from Canada. What reason should I get to the border so that I don't get denied entry to the US? So yes, so the visa issue is a tricky one, with all the changes. If you have a Canadian passport, which I don't know if you have, a Canadian passport, you can enter without, showing the letter or anything. Canadians can enter US, you can say meeting friends and family. If you stay Step 3, if you say other things, then they can ask the question. But again, this is just immigration. Who knows what they ask? All Canadian students, we tell them, don't, just enter, because you have friends here, you have family here, you can come and visit. Why few students with all steps, great scores, good LORs, publication, recent YOG did not get matched this year? So this is a good question. Each year, there will be students with very high scores who don't match. There will be students with good LORs who don't match. Because what you have to understand, this entire thing is a story. What you write in your PS, can you justify it in your interviews? What you don't write in the CV, can you still say, for example, if you don't have research with a 260, why don't you have research? So it's all, like all my panelists have said, it is not one thing. Think of it as a long-term plan and a series of things that have to come together. The students who don't match obviously have something lacking, or they may have missed something, or they may have made a mistake. So it can happen, but that's why we are here to correct those mistakes. Is it ideal to do rotation from one particular hospital over a period of months rather than switching to other hospitals? So I generally recommend, my panel recommends getting different experiences. If you have 4 months, get 4 different rotations. That's always a good idea. Anything I can answer on our gold, platinum, bronze plan, closed telegraph group, our classes, you can all look up the website. If you are interested, take a look and set up a time with us. Does Sarthi help for post-soap scramble? So post-soap scramble is even after the soap, when the positions are there, and if you are our student, if you need help, absolutely, but you will have to contact those programs directly. So, a lot of times it is contacting the programs directly. And an important thing that Swati has mentioned is, yes, we are on Reddit also. We are creating a community to help all of you. So you can also ask questions after this webinar. Go to this Reddit community that Swati has just shared the link with, and ask any questions that you have. we'll be happy to answer those there as well. And in a community setting, just be professional, but we will be taking up questions there as well. So there are a lot of ways to reach out to us. So as Swati mentioned, there's Reddit, there's open Telegram group, there is Instagram. If you want to meet us face to face in person, we have a lot of free seminars coming up in India and maybe hopefully in the US. When is ideal to give step one? It depends on your kind of timeline, whether you're a student or an intern. And go to this blog that Swati has been posting. Swati is very, very proficient. The moment she sees the question, she is posting the response. So go to this blog. There are other blogs as well. As a second year medical student, when can I contact Sarthi? You can contact us anytime depending on what you need. If you are in India, we'll see you in May. Otherwise, of course, we have a STEP mentorship if you are preparing for STEPs, or in general, if you want to know anything about USMLE, our seminars in India are going to be a great opportunity. So just sign up. It's free to the closest city, and we may even Zoom it. So don't know yet. Okay, with that, I think we have come to an end. Thank you, everyone, for this wonderful 2 days you spent with us. Hopefully, it was useful. Hopefully, we got you some good information to help you in the match. Again, if you want to help us, if we can help you, we have an ambassador program also. So thank you, Swati. So join this as if you are in second year or third year. Shruti or others, you can join our ambassador program. We'll be happy to help you as well. Old graduate 2019, step 1 pass, expecting CK result in the next week. How should I plan now? Well, I think you are in touch with me, Sundarji. So I'll talk with you. We'll talk about your rotations, research, maybe after this webinar. So, I may be old, but I still remember names. So. Okay, with that, thank you all, and I greatly appreciate your time. I hope to see you in India or other events that we host to help you out.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope that video provided valuable insights for your journey. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And check out our website for details on how we can guide you to a successful match.